We work in 17 counties, Kiambu being one of them, and being, of course, among the first counties we started working in.
Today, we have come here as an assembly committee on water, environment, energy, natural resources, and the climate change, which I am the chairman. And our motive today, of course, we are having our partner, that is GROOTS Kenya, and our Department of Water and Environment and Climate Change, led by our Waziri, our Chief Officer, all the directors concerned and our legal advisors, so that we can come up with a draft policy negotiations, which will give birth to County Climate Change Policy 2020. After that, we will be able now to formulate a County Climate Change Act. And again, we will also do the climate change finance regulations. After having all those, I will now create an institutional framework, which with it will establish a County Climate Change Coordination Unit, which again will also bring a climate change resolution center, which we shall try to devolve to at least every single ward in our county. And the aim itself is to reduce the climate change destruction and emissions. And we shall also adopt all other necessary methods through deliberations and of course following our regulations that we will have enacted to ensure the entire county is clean. We are on the same breath advising our people, because even forestry department is still under my docket to advise them to reduce the cutting of trees. And that is why the other day you found us going to rehabilitate the degradation of Manguo. And remember, we are signatory to the Kyoto Protocol, which we need to at all times observe as we progress in advancing our goals of technically reducing the climate change emissions that are dangerous.
To discuss a draft policy that we have developed, or we are in the process of developing. The other thing you realize, there is also this movement of mainstreaming climate change and energy in all our work that we are doing, that's just like the way we are mainstreaming gender. And unfortunately, there was no directory to do with it. And what I did a cabinet paper. I requested that we form a unit, 2 units, one for forestry and natural resources, and we were able to do that. And 2, to form a directorate of energy and climate change. So that we can now start coming up with environmental law. We thought it would be nice for us now to have this policy. We would like and we would appreciate wazimoas kama mungetupatia maoni yenu. It's not going to take long.
The process we started in 2018. This was a consultative meeting between GROOTS Kenya, the department, and other members that we had. We had to just say, why do we need a policy? There's the background and rationale for the policy formulation. We know that climate change is a global issue. There's evidence that climate change is taking place not only globally but even in Kiambu. There's manifestation of climate change, and we have a whole explanation of the evidence. We had a lot of information from the meteorological department and the Kiambu department on how climate has changed over time. Besides, it's a legal requirement. The Climate Change Act 2016 obligates that counties should mainstream climate change actions and interventions in their operations.
So we need also to have Kiambu transition from being an industrial agriculture county to organic or agroecology
ecological farming county.
On the reference to the Paris Agreement, I see you've made the main reference you've made is to the UNFCCC, and well, that is mostly relevant for GHG emissions. But then you know that the Paris Agreement came into force, and Kenya is also a party.
One, we registered a law that will bar people from developing waterways. Waterways have been blocked, and I mean natural waterways.
There was a case in Gitau where there was liquid waste being dumped outside the property, and in that case the owner said that there is no provision of sewage, and the court said that if there is no provision of sewage, where do they expect the owner to take the liquid waste?
If you look at the Public Health Act, which is again national legislation, there are those specific duties and responsibilities of a public health officer. If you move to MCA, there are those specific duties of an environmental inspector. So somehow, through policy we try and avoid conflict, but at the same time, we cannot stop people from what they've been mandated to do by national registration. Solid waste was more of a headache than liquid waste. And even as we speak now, if we compare the two, solid waste continues to be the greater problem, because in liquid waste, some areas we have water storage systems. I know the frame in Juja and other places, but you can see we are even moving faster in as far as the liquid waste is concerned.
My question lies on the implementation bit. You said about the climate fund. Does the national government have one? And which counties have already established, or will we be the first ones to establish it?
About 5 or 6 that have already established. Just to give you
We are sure this is a document that requires our support in the Assembly, and we'll be in constant contact with the GROOTS Kenya as we thank them for the support they are giving this Assembly at the county of Kiambu.
when the draft comes back to the community for public participation, you see my colleague here has money for public participation. She will ensure that the communities are engaged effectively in ensuring that they understand the content, and they will hold the duty bearers to account when it comes to implementation.
The timelines are there because we need to change a few things, and I know what we have targeted to do is through our resumption of the Assembly, if it will be possible to do physical. But alternatively, we can go the way we are going virtually and ensure that within 60 days we are able to do this bill very fast. Since you know we have been doing it over years, beginning 2018 to now, it has been a journey, which is now at the advanced stage. From there, I just need to table it in the Assembly, and it will be passed. Yeah, my members are very ready.